Hey everyone, and welcome. So, you want to run Android apps on your PC, right? But the second you start looking, you realize there are so many emulators out there. It can honestly feel like you're just lost in a sea of options. Well, don't worry, because we've done all the hard work for you. And that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? How do you pick the right one? Well, it all comes down to your computer's hardware. And in this explainer, we're going to break down the 6 absolute best options for 2025, and we're going to match the perfect emulator to your specific PC. So here's the plan. We'll kick things off with emulators built for high-end rigs, then we'll jump into the mid-range, which, let's be honest, is where most of us are at, and we'll wrap up with an amazing option for low-spec machines. By the end of this, you'll know exactly which one to grab. All right, let's get into it. Okay, first up, let's talk to those of you with the big guns, the powerful gaming PCs, the beefy workstations. If you want a perfectly smooth, totally lag-free experience, this section is for you. You've almost definitely heard of this one, BlueStacks. For years, it has been the undisputed king of performance, and for a really good reason. It's built from the ground up for people who just cannot stand lag. So here's the most important thing to know about BlueStacks. It uses something called Vulcan support. In simple terms, that means it leans really heavily on your graphics card, your GPU. So if you've got a killer GPU and a decent amount of RAM, say 16 gigs, BlueStacks 5 is absolutely going to fly on your machine. But what if your PC's strength is its processor, its CPU, and maybe your graphics card isn't top of the line? Well, that's where LD Player 9 comes into the picture. It's an incredibly stable and powerful alternative to BlueStacks. And this right here is the whole story. It perfectly lays out the choice you have at the high end. It's not about which one is better overall, it's about which one is better for your build. Got a beast of a graphics card? Go with BlueStacks. Got a monster CPU? LD Player 9 is going to be your best friend. All right, let's move on to the mid-range. Now, this is the category for most people. It's all about getting fantastic performance and great features without needing a super expensive high-end computer. This is the sweet spot. So we've got 3 amazing contenders here, and each one has its own special thing going on. We've got a fantastic all-rounder, the official option straight from Google, and a dedicated gaming specialist. First up is Mumu Player 12, and let me tell you, this one is a real gem. It manages to combine the super clean, simple interface with absolutely amazing performance, even on more moderate hardware. You really only need about 8 gigs of RAM for this to run great. And really, that quote says everything you need to know. Butter smooth. It's just incredibly user-friendly. And since it runs on a modern Android 12, it's a top choice if you just want an emulator that works beautifully right out of the box. No fuss. Next up, we've got the official entry from Google itself. And, as you'd probably expect from Google, the performance is just exceptionally smooth. Plus, it runs the absolute latest version of Android you can get on any emulator, period. Yeah, you heard that right. Android 14. That's a huge deal. But, and this is a big but, since this platform is still pretty new, there are a couple of really significant limitations you absolutely need to know about before you dive in. So here's the trade-off. For now, at least, it's kind of a closed garden. You only get access to the specific games that Google has approved. That means no general apps from the Play Store, and some massive games like PUBG Mobile just aren't there yet. It's amazing for what it does, but what it does is still a bit limited. Now, what if you don't care about apps at all? What if your one and only focus is gaming? Well, in that case, Game Loop was literally built for you. It's one of the most reliable and optimized emulators out there for running the big, popular mobile games. So this makes your choice in the mid-range pretty straightforward. If you are a dedicated gamer and you just want the best experience for titles like PUBG or Call of Duty, Game Loop is your go-to, no question. But if you need that versatility to play games and use other apps, Mumu Player 12 is the better all-around pick. Okay, finally, let's talk about what to do if you're working with an older laptop or maybe a PC with really basic specs. Don't worry, you are not left out. There is an incredible option designed just for you. I want you to meet Mumu Nebula. This emulator is an absolute marvel of efficiency. It was designed from the ground up to run on low-end hardware, and it has a super simple interface that is incredibly easy to get the hang of. Okay, now this is the magic trick. See that key advantage? No virtualization needed. All that means is you don't have to go mess around in your PC's BIOS settings, which can be a huge headache. It means Mumu Nebula can run on pretty much any computer out there, even one with just a single gigabyte of RAM. The only trade-off? It's running on an older version of Android, so some of the very newest apps might not be compatible. Whew! Okay, we have covered a lot of ground. So let's bring everything together in one final, simple chart to help you make your decision. And here it is, the whole showdown in one place. For a high-end PC, you're choosing between BlueStacks for GPU power or LD Player for CPU power. In that mid-range sweet spot, Mumu Player 12 is your fantastic all-rounder, Google Play Games is the super smooth but limited official option, and Game Loop is for the pure gamers. And for any low-spec machine out there, Mumu Nebula is your lightweight champion. So now it all comes back to you. Take a second and think about what you really need. Is it that maximum raw performance for the most demanding games? Is it the flexibility to run any app under the sun? Or is it just the simple ability to get Android up and running on older hardware? Once you answer that question, you'll know exactly which one is the perfect emulator for you.